Hello you beautiful misfits, my name's Matt, and so far E3 2015 had been relatively pleasant, dare I say even enjoyable. Bethesda's conference debut was a strong show from the off, and even Microsoft's one still managed to keep me engaged with it. So now we come to EA's conference, which opened strongly with the trailer for Mass Effect 4.
It's not called Mass Effect 4, damn it!
Showing our as yet unnamed protagonist scrolling through what looked like a futuristic PowerPoint presentation of animated concept art, to the tune of Ghost Riders in the Sky by the immortal Johnny Cash. Mr. Protagonist picks an appropriately frontier-like desert planet to jump to and then struts towards the camera, showing off his N7 badge. So far so very Mass Effect. Well, aside from the Johnny Cash, that is. Although I ain't complaining. We were then given some brief shots of the new Mako driving across the dunes, Commander Not Shepard jetpacking across the surface, weird transforming alien buildings emerging from the sand, and our nameless, faceless hero storming a group of enemies with some squad mates, all before fading to the words Mass Effect Andromeda, and a non-specific release date of Holiday 2016. That was it really, and as a Mass Effect fan, there were enough unfamiliar elements among the all too familiar Mass Effect iconography to keep me moderately interested in it. That and you can't go wrong with a bit of Johnny Cash. So of course it was going to be downhill from here on out. Peter Wayland of Wayland Industries then came on stage to give a TED talk about building better worlds. Only joking, it was actually EA CEO Andrew Wilson, looking so corporately slick that if you flattened him out into a big long sheet, you could probably use him to slide a beached whale back into the sea. Andrew was here to promise an action-packed show chock full of new games, including 3 original IPs, one of which he promised was unlike anything we were expecting. There was also mention of the new Mirror's Edge game everybody already knew about but had seen bugger all of anything about, and Star Wars Battlefront. Alright, sounds good to me. What you got lined up first?
As someone who loves cars...
It was the new Need for Speed, which is all about cars, and cars. Oh, and full motion video cutscenes full of jobbing actors pretending to be racing obsessed bellends, all spouting terms and phrases so alien to me they might as well have been speaking fucking Martian. Some other Wayland Industries synthetic then appeared on stage to spat a load of guff like
the definitive Need for Speed experience.
And
become the ultimate icon.
As you race through
police-infested urban districts.
During all this tedious street racing nonsense, this whopping great banner popped up, just to remind you that if you wanted to see the Star Wars Battlefront presentation, you had to endure all this shit first. Including this arse-numbingly long car modification segment, put in there purely for car fanatics to molest themselves into a soggy delirium. However, despite my immense indifference to car games, even I have to admit that Need for Speed does look really rather pretty. So it's got that going for it at least. Jeff Hickman of BioWare then appeared to promote a new expansion for Star Wars The Old Republic, called Knights of the Fallen Empire. Yeah, thanks for that, because it wasn't bloody difficult enough to avoid accidentally referring to Star Wars The Old Republic as Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, one being a classic single-player BioWare RPG with memorable characters, a strong story arc and annoying turret sequence minigames, and the other a third-person massively multiplayer online jobby. Anyway, Star Wars Star Wars The Old Republic Knights of the Fallen Empire will be completely free to existing subscribers, which is nice I suppose. It also has this spiffy trailer about a pair of twins training to be Jedi, one of whom eventually falls to the dark side. Can you guess which one? Ha! You're wrong, it's the one dressed in white who becomes the bad guy. You see, not everyone who dresses in black wants to swing a red lightsaber around and destroy whole planets, although I do. After that came what was perhaps EA's most surprising reveal thus far, an actual human being, specifically Martin Celine of Coldwood Studios, creator of the absolutely mind-bogglingly charming Unravel, a puzzle platformer about a cat made of yarn who traverses a dangerous world, and actually I'll let Martin present it to you all, along with my reactions as they happened.
Hello everyone, my name is Martin Celine.
Impress me, Martin.
I'm just so happy to finally be here and get to show you all this game that we made. This little thing called Unravel.
Oh, bless him. He looks really nervous.
It's a puzzle platformer where you play as a little character made of yarn, which unravels as you move. And the yarn, it represents love and the bonds that we make. And it unravels because that's what happens when we're separated from what we love.
Where did EA find this adorable man.
And that's how Yarny came to be. And I actually brought him with me.
Aww!
Hi!
Hello! We then got to see this lovely trailer in which Yarny solves puzzles, is menaced by a terrifying lemming, flies a kite, gets abducted by a bird and... No! Oh, thank God he's okay. I'm not crying. I just got something in my eyes. And there you have it, the absolute highlight of the EA conference, if not all of E3 itself. A sincere, genuine human being showing what they created with love and passion and inviting us all to experience it. It was everything I loved about video games wrapped up in one beautiful and heartwarming moment of wonder. A moment I wanted to savour, to bask in the innocent feeling of being a child again. To let all my adult cynicism and world weariness just melt away in a period of quiet joy and contemplation. Fuck video games. And after that whiplash-inducing tonal shift, it was on to the sports games, aka that part of the conference where almost everybody watching it, including me, lets out a huge collective which then brings out all the smug, self-righteous smartasses who like to say, well, this bit's not for you. No, it's for all those invisible fucking ghost people who buy sports games by the millions every year, yet never so much as glance at a gaming news site, let alone actually watch an E3 conference stream. The sort of people you'll likely never ever actually knowingly meet during your entire lifetime. Not unless some weird cat gives you a magic key or something. I'm not going to waste much time on this bit because it's bloody sports games and the people who buy sports games don't watch videos like these. Although there was one moment, one comedy gem that I just could not let pass without comment.
You'll use global XP earned from across the entire game to up your swag.
Yes, that actually happened. A middle-aged white guy in a suit actually said, with a straight fucking face no less, up your swag.
Up your swag.
Up your swag.
Up your swag.
The swag-upping sportathon was briefly interrupted by this segment, in which Samantha Ryan, or Denim Lady as I call her, said,
Let's talk about mobile.
Do we have to? Then there were these hateful little fuckers. Thousands upon thousands of them, as though your Facebook feed suddenly exploded and filled your eyeballs with shrapnel, yet not one of them possessing even an infinitesimal fraction of Yarny's charm.
Who has not dreamed of having an army of these little guys?
Only if I can march them all into an airtight warehouse, seal the doors and then pump it full of carbon monoxide. With that brief interlude done, it was back to the sport. Or sports legend rather, in the form of Pele! Hosting a special part of the conference I like to call Pele's Story Corner, in which he went on...
When we started to promote the soccer in the United States,
and on...
The beautiful game, the jogo bonito, is soccer.
And on...
Soccer is jogo bonito.
About the beautiful game.
So I think we could probably sit here forever.
Please don't. Then it was back onto games that most people watching actually gave a fuck about, in this case Mirror's Edge Catalyst, presented by a lady in a yellow vest, who posed such amazing, earth-shaking philosophical questions as,
What would life be like if we willingly gave away our privacy?
wow, I have no idea. Please tell me about this unimaginable far-flung future.
And these are the questions that inspired us as we set out to bring Mirror's Edge to a new generation of gamers.
So yeah, it's a Mirror's Edge origin story. It does look rather pretty though, and the main villain is the spitting fucking image of EA's CEO. After that and another mercifully brief sports segment, we came at last to that thing EA kept bringing up at the bottom of the screen there. Oh shit, my mind's gone blank. What was it again?
The game is, of course, Star Wars Battlefront.
Ah yes, Star Wars Battlefront, the grand finale, the capstone of the EA conference. Turned out to be a totally scripted gameplay sequence, albeit a totally scripted gameplay sequence with awesome sound and music, which slapped my nostalgia buttons harder than a sadistic billionaire who doesn't understand consent. Yep, that John Williams score still hits me right in the chest. And despite having lost much of the love I used to have for Star Wars, for obvious reasons, there's still something oh so very satisfying about seeing Rebels scum gunned down en masse. Not to mention these bits which brought back so many fond memories of playing TIE Fighter, although I have since heard the ship combat segments play like inserting an icicle of frozen piss into your eyeball, so I'd be better off just reinstalling TIE Fighter. Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker then appear right at the end to duke it out on Hoth, just like they didn't do in The Empire Strikes Back, with Luke wearing his Return of the Jedi ensemble, which is not canon! And then the conference was over, thank God. So, to summarise. Well, it wasn't completely insufferable. And it did bring us the most heartwarming human moment of E3 in the form of Martin and Yanni here. Unravel is a game I'll definitely be following and very much look forward to playing, even though I know it'll leave me a complete weeping wreck by the end of it, like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons did. And I suppose the non-sports stuff was okay. Apart from that, however, this presentation was an absolute chore to get through. On the bright side, I am almost halfway through my promise to cover all of this year's E3 conferences, which in hindsight is starting to look like a huge mistake. But one I'll see through to the bitter fucking end. So I'll see all you beautiful misfits next time for my coverage of the Sony conference. Assuming this wretched British summer heatwave doesn't kill me first. Which incidentally is the reason I'm naked from the waist down and have been throughout this entire video.